da 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 da.
Wait, I'm hearing it.
We're doing the song for Kevin because he can't hear it. He has no headphones.
Yeah,
we got low budget today.
We
bum bum.
we tried to set up a new audio thing so he can go cordless because cords annoy him, but it instead left him on a tape delay and he hated it, so he threw it away.
I didn't hate it. You guys hated it because I was answering you 5 minutes late.
So the music is playing, which means we're live, which means welcome to the Hammock Life, everyone. And the music stopped
It did
abruptly.
stop. That's how that works.
In my head, it's still playing.
It is. That's the best part about not having a headset.
Once again, we've done some more set upgrades a little bit. We're getting there, little by little. Woo!
I thought Pat was pointing at you like Vanna White.
I
am like Vanna White.
I am always the upgrade, no matter what happens.
We have all kinds of fancy
I see your
things.
journal's really feeling good about yourself. I am always the upgrade.
Well, I got that extra Lego set today, so I'm feeling pretty good.
I'm so jealous of that.
You got a Super Nintendo?
Wait, so now the world knows that they shipped you free stuff.
Yeah, don't tell anyone.
I hope our 42 subscribers don't tell anyone.
They're actually all work for that company.
Yeah, I can see that.
But your one watcher is here, though.
Nice.
That is correct. You guys may not see him yet, but we have a guest today.
Our guest is breaking protocol by talking before he's on screen.
No, now it's a mystery. No, here's the thing. Literally,
That'd be
no one
funnier
knows
to
who
ask
he
the
is.
question
That's
and
true.
then find out who he is.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is very
We
true.
should totally have like an unveil question. Like, what's your favorite moat location?
I came up with an unveil in my head, though.
Oh.
All right, so
For
you do
this one.
yours. You do
So-
yours then.
He's been thinking about you for months.
I had a different question.
So we have mentioned numerous times, it's almost a running gag at this point, about our good friend Mike, my good friend Mike, who is the backbone of a lot of my
I don't
stories.
know the guy. It's worse.
And we typically do a mic drop. So this time I'm going to actually drop a mic.
Nice.
It did not
Hit
survive.
the button. It did not. That's why I grabbed the cheap mic. And here in studio, our good buddy Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, buddy.
I'm waving at you
How's it
at
going?
the camera thingy.
So ice-breaking question, Mike. How much wood
Open
could a
your beer.
woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
0. Mike didn't want to answer you.
Does the woodchuck have power? Or,
By the way, I
or
forgot-
cell service?
I do not. I have neither
I
right
said
now.
that question, and I totally was like, I don't know. I like fucked it up somehow. So I was like, who's the chuck that would the chucks, and
Well,
then they
you-
would chuck the wood.
You were in the middle of doing 5 other things at the same time.
That's my
so
life, man.
that's
Yeah, sounds about right.
Only 5? That's a light day.
It was actually a light day. I don't know why. I
Why
was
don't we-
enjoying the cool weather today. It was nice.
Dude,
So,
I walked out this morning to go to the mailbox, my 8 a.m. trip, to put lots of Frisbees in the mail to other people that paid me money for them. And I was like, it is surprisingly cool out this morning. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
fantastic.
I
I
was loving
didn't
it.
break a sweat walking to the mailbox at 8 a.m. for the first time in weeks.
Yeah, my laughing at the temperature was like, it's 85 and it feels freezing out. This is fantastic.
Yes.
yeah, this is the first episode in a while that we've recorded where we don't feel like we're dying. This is actually very
This is actually the
comfortable.
only episode we've ever recorded up here where we don't feel like we're dying.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I was expecting it to be a lot hotter for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When you were
Ken,
complaining
like,
about
went
your
through his shirt
fan
in, like,
not
first 10
being on,
minutes.
I was worried.
I'm just, you know me. I like my things.
I'm
I
right
felt,
there.
I felt
yeah,
bad
I'm
for
right
Ken.
there with
He's
you.
like,
So before we get into the
Yeah, what are you guys
quests
drinking?
and expeditions, I
Expeditions?
can't talk. Expeditions that
Expedition.
that Mike had going on. Why don't we talk about what we're drinking first, quick?
Well,
I guess you start.
I'm currently drinking an Evenflow, but I
your-
will be
your backup.
drinking a Craftwork from Alvarium, which is one of my favorite beers from them, so I'm very excited about that.
Yeah,
you got a backup?
we,
Man,
we saw a handful
It's a
of
bold move, Cotton.
We saw a handful of the Alvarium people a couple days ago, and thank you very much for bringing beers to us. I'm also drinking Alvarium Crunchyroll, which is one of my favorites that they do. Thank you.
I got one from the crew from No Worries. Thanks, guys.
They're jerks.
The worst. What do I got? Sweet Sesh Bra by Outer Light.
Yeah, who also
Who was
had
also
stopped
here
by
and brought
that
us
same
here, yep.
evening.
Cheers to
Yep.
them.
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. Cheers,
Thank you.
everybody.
Yeah.
Cheers to yourselves.
I needed this.
So before we go crazy, we last weekend we played some disc golf.
We did.
We did.
We were in, so hold on.
I had
Get-
very
getting in,
awful
getting
day
well, getting
playing
in,
disc
getting
golf.
into that. The disc golf joke amongst our friends is that Mike lives in New York because he's up in the middle of bumblefuck Northwest
I call
Connecticut.
that Siberia of Connecticut.
So ironically, we were in his neck of the woods, and
Yeah.
he was not.
And he was out of state.
I was out of state.
Which will segue into our story that Mike has to tell. Yeah, I had an awful
Right.
day at Norbrook.
Well, and yeah, we went to your home course, right? Camp Brook.
Camp Brook, yeah.
Right in your hood, and then we.
I
which
didn't
is
play
right
too
by,
bad. I didn't play too bad there. It was Norbrook. I fell apart.
Right, which is right by Great Falls. We were gonna hit by, but that was like 9
It was
o'clock
too.
in the morning.
Yeah, it was too early. Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't serving beers that early.
Yeah. So then we did Norbrook. If people haven't been to Norbrook, they have a massive farm, and that's serene.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I knew
right
that was
now?
going to happen. Tag, you're it.
I'm gonna go ask Jake to take care of this
All right.
for us.
We'll finish this.
I will be
segue.
back.
That's a riot. Well, that's our distributor, everybody. Yeah, right.
Perfect timing.
So
Bill seems
Bill just
bitter.
muttering. But yeah, so we went to Norbrook. I don't know if people have been there, but they have a massive farm, like area, acreage. There's like even more dirt or BMX. I don't know what they're called. Mountain bike.
Mountain bike.
Yeah.
And holy crap, were they out in force on Sunday?
Oh, I believe it.
They have more
I believe it.
signage
whole-
for like the bikes than they do the damn discs now.
Oh, I believe that
it's
too.
impressive.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They
Yeah.
care more about the bikers than the disc golfers. That's what always happens. So.
Which is funny because I bet you the disc golfers buy more beer than the bikers.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I bet it's pretty close.
Was that a
Fight,
challenge?
fight.
Yes. Let's ask John. We'll
So
go
the
with
nice
that.
thing about that spot was that we ended a half an hour after they opened.
Yeah.
Like they could have been
And,
noon, and we were
like-
about 12:30.
Like 12 seconds before the torrential downpour.
Perfect.
Yeah, Pat's like, I feel it drop. I'm like, I don't feel anything. You're like, you'll feel it in a second. And originally we were walking to the beer tent or whatever, which was not too far from the car, but far enough. Bill forgot his mask. So Pat's like, I won't. Pat was like, I won't be upset if you're lazy and drive the car back next to the
Yeah,
street.
because we were parked 2/3 of the way up the side lot there.
Yep.
Because when we got there, all the mountain bikers are parked there, and there was
Oh,
not
yeah.
a single car in the paved lot.
Yep.
So I didn't want to be that guy that parked in the
Yeah.
paved lot when we're not supposed to.
Yes.
It was pretty funny though. And then like literally before we even got our beer served, it was like the heavens
Yeah.
opened up and it was
Yeah,
just rain everywhere.
Bill sat down, and then the sky opened up behind
Yeah.
him.
Yeah,
was-
our
it was
timing could not have been more perfect.
Driving home in that sucked.
I bet.
I think I did a 35 mile an hour hydroplane for like 8 miles straight.
Yeah,
Oh, that's no
Pat,
fun.
Yeah, Pat was driving very, very slow, and not because he's a slow driver. He just had no choice.
He's like,
Yeah.
I might pull over. I'm like, don't be a bitch.
No. I've been in the car when we had to pull over.
Yes.
We're going
It was
to
getting close.
Schenectady,
It was
right?
definitely
Yep.
getting close.
Oh, that was bad.
Yeah.
It was almost that bad.
Almost that bad. All right.
There was no place to pull over though.
Right, of
Like,
course
because
not.
it's Route 8 South. Like,
Yep.
where the hell am I going to pull over?
Mhm.
And you pull over, and then getting back on the highway is even more dangerous than when you tried to pull over.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it was kind of like the Days of Thunder, where you just punch the gas and keep going
Just
through
go.
through the
Yep.
wreck and hope for the best.
Yep.
Just don't end up in the hospital and
Yeah.
then Nicole Kidman's on your bed for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why. So
Some
what
weird-
did you do this
Yeah,
weekend,
so
Mike?
you weren't around for disc golf for
No,
us
so
anyway. Where
yeah,
were you
this
at?
weekend I was up in Maine. It was actually the second time I've been out of the state recently, but so we can
Rebel.
talk about the first time too. Yeah, just my girlfriend's parents have a camper up in Kennebunk, so it was her birthday last week, so we went up there for a long weekend.
Nice.
So I'm assuming you stopped at some breweries and stuff while you were up there.
We did go to some breweries. Yep.
So what compared to what you've seen around here, what was the vibe like there? How are they operating? Is it similar, different? What did you experience?
I'll say Maine was very similar. The places that we went to, we stayed out of Portland because they're kind of a hotspot right now. So we stayed sort of south. We went to only two. We went to Barreled Souls and Banded. Only two that we went to. Barreled Souls, I think, was all outside seating, so we got lucky. It was kind of a nice day. I don't know if they have any precautions for if it was a shitty day, but
Right. Maybe just close it down or something.
maybe probably just shut it down, curbside only.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're pretty small, right? I've
Yeah.
never actually
Yep.
been there yet. I've been wanting to get there
Oh,
for a
you
long
gotta get
time.
there.
I've
Yeah.
just never made it there yet. I've heard great
They had a
things,
massive bottle list that you can't buy to bring home.
Oh, I wanted to drink it all. I sent him a picture. I'm like, if they let me take any of this home, I would have spent
All the
an
monies.
irresponsible amount of money at that place. Yeah.
All the money.
But yeah, both of them were just, masks on till you're seated. Seated, it was fine. Table service. So it was very similar to Connecticut.
Nice.
Vermont, that I was in a couple weeks prior, which only because I was from, at the time, the only clean county in Connecticut was I even able to go to Vermont for leisure travel.
Yeah.
But there it was much more strict. They were everywhere we went was all about contact tracing. So everywhere we went, name, email, phone number.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Basically, you had to register yourself for every place you were going to.
I'm just gonna make business cards if I go out of state.
Not a bad idea. Places were pushing contactless as much as they could. We went to Harpoon, and it was, here's the QR code on your check, scan it, and pay that way.
Oh wow.
A couple of the restaurants we went to also was the same thing. It was just like on the table, here's your QR code. You can pay through that.
Yeah. That's actually kind of cool, though. I mean, we have a food truck that comes here that is sticking to just pay us through Venmo. Here's how to use Venmo. We'll use PayPal if that's all you have, but we prefer Venmo. Venmo's simple.
They didn't tell me the first time that they wanted me to send my order along with the payment, like in the Venmo text.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize that either.
Yeah,
so you just sent them a donation.
So I put down 2 pizzas, and I was like, I showed it to them, and they're like, you're supposed to put the order in. I'm like, you didn't tell me to do that. Sorry, but this is what I want.
I just enjoyed that.
I'm just gonna tell you,
pulled
you're
like a
right
Men in
here.
Black. How much more noise can I make? Did that not come through the headphones?
Do we have?
It's not bad actually.
I heard it a little bit, but it wasn't bad at all.
Without headphones, loud as
Yeah,
shit.
I know.
Do we don't have a food truck today, right?
No.
Okay. Someone's asking me. Someone's asking me, so I'm responding to them quick.
I like it.
No,
Listen-
Tom. There's no food truck.
On Monday
You're
or
just trying to get on the
Tuesday,
episode.
whenever
on
this
Monday or
gets
Tuesday when
posted.
this goes live, you'll know the answer.
Still no food truck.
That's what your response should have been. Check out the podcast on Tuesday.
Yeah.
We'll tell you then.
Like I said, Vermont was sort of a brand new experience. Also, just like websites and information, Vermont was much more upfront about, hey, here's our hours, here's our sort of our guidelines. Here's what you have to do in order to come here. Otherwise,
Epic fail.
Bill did it.
No, actually, it was. I believe that was Kevin.
No.
No, that was Bill.
No,
Bill
that was
hung
me.
it.
Somebody
No, that
already
was me.
adjusted it
That was me.
to perfection.
Bill just doesn't want to sit down for this episode.
It's because I'm here.
I
Just
know
like
it
with
was
disc golf. You guys waited till I was gone.
Oh, it's more fun.
Gotta go lower. Nah, lower than that. No.
It's crooked.
A little bit to the left. Fine. It doesn't matter.
I think the new gag is going to be we're going to put that somewhere different every episode.
I just hope
It's
it
going to
again,
fall
that's
every
all.
time, so it doesn't matter.
I was gonna get command strips, but I was like, we'll take it down. It's duct tape. It'll
Yeah,
last.
we'll get command strips for next time.
We'll command strips.
This is coming off the rails fast.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not surprised. I was expecting this.
I already sent it. We don't usually give it to them.
What were we talking about?
I have no
I don't
idea.
remember anymore.
Vermont,
we're
they
talking
were very
about,
digitally forward. They
signs
let
for-
us know.
Ah,
They let
okay.
us know, not me. Like what their hours were. And I definitely
Yeah.
noticed that. Like I think breweries are pretty good in Connecticut, but I have noticed a lot. Like restaurants, like they barely ever update their Facebook. Like we just went and got wings, and we're like, oh yeah, we're like, oh, it looked sort of closed. We weren't sure if it just there's only one car in the parking lot. Like they have more staff than one car,
Right.
And we're like, well, check Facebook, and Bill's like, literally like, dude, they're not gonna update their Facebook. They never do. Like,
Yeah.
But
I
right
re-
now you should be
But
doing like
in this,
constantly.
Yeah,
in this
right
current
now-
time,
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
to.
That's why I was surprised. Maine was just the was no information whatsoever other than their regular stuff. Like
Yeah, right
was-
now, I mean, people should be
COVID did not
really-
show up on anybody's website.
What
you had
is
to like
COVID?
you like go digging through their Facebook posts to see if they were even open or
Yeah.
or what their deal was. So I mean that was a little frustrating.
Last
That's-
update was like March Madness.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
I
Yes.
mean, yeah,
Well, that's when the world ended.
Yep.
we may forget now and again, but for the most part, we try to put a post up every day, like, "Hey man, we're open," or like,
Like after
Yeah.
you got 47 questions yesterday, do you have power?
it was only 2 questions, but
I was
no,
one.
Yes,
had-
we have
yeah,
power.
you were
We
one
had
of
a
them,
few
yeah.
more.
Yeah, we had a few, but
But then all of them like, they don't have power either, so they like deal with trees and stuff.
Yeah.
Free log with every visit right now.
no.
Well, we don't have any trees.
No. Nice. So,
Cool.
what was
Yeah,
your
what else?
favorite? What was your favorite beer?
They're
While being
they're
not
all
in
my
state?
favorite.
Well, not in state though.
Not in the state.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be the one you visited. Maybe just something you had at a bar or a restaurant or something.
No, I mean
Now I know why you call him Mayor Mike. That was the most like political answer.
Oh
to
no,
that.
no, that's
They're
not,
all
that's,
my
not why,
favorite.
that's not why he
No,
was called Mayor
No,
Mike.
but
it's
but
not.
it's still it's fitting though. It's fitting
They're
though.
all my favorites.
they are. Yeah, you gotta be political. No, you guys know Big Barley Wine guy. So
Mhm.
at the 2018 Blonde on Blonde barreled souls. I mean, that's why I'm going to barreled souls is for barley wines.
Yeah,
even
yeah.
in what month is it?
So
August.
So I'm driving home from there next week.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Like I'll
They
take
have
a
more
bomber.
of a takeaway list. Hello. No,
Like,
I
no,
found
no,
out
no.
I do not like rum barrel aged. They had a rum barrel aged. I forget which barley wine, but I did not enjoy that.
I can't picture
Rum
a
barrels are finicky though too. Like I mean,
Yeah.
I don't.
I've had
I'm
some
not,
good.
I'm not a big rum drinker, so that
I can't
that
picture
could
a.
be
I wasn't surprised.
I can't picture a barley wine on rum though. That just seems like a weird combo to
Well,
me.
from what
It
I
was,
know,
and I had to
from
try
the,
it. So
like beer side of things, like I mean, I've talked to Two Roads before. I've never really dealt with rum barrels specifically, but rum barrels are treated like trash. Like they are they're not like whiskey barrels, which are actually treated very well.
Yep.
So when you get them, I know they reject or they throw out like 30% of the barrels. So when they do like Rosemary Baby in rum barrels,
Yep.
right, which that's what it is,
Mhm.
they get, I don't know, 500 barrels or whatever ridiculous number that they need for their batch of beer, and they throw out like 30% or 20% of all those barrels because either they don't pass inspection visually,
Yep.
the inside is terrifying. They have to clean the outsides of most of them. They just are not treated with the same respect, so to speak,
Interesting.
as whiskey. And I think that I don't know if they come from whiskey and they create rum in them. I don't really remember the lineage of it.
Yeah.
But I've heard only horror stories. So originally when I was looking and doing rum stuff, they're like, don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it.
might be the only one I've had that knowingly that said rum on it, but yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Just not up your alley.
no, not my thing. Nope.
Yeah. I mean, if you see it again elsewhere, I'd give it another shot though, because I have had really good rum barrel aged stuff, but I have had very bad.
No, I'm
too,
not
so.
listening to you. That's it. One and done.
Fine, one and done.
I just can't get over the fact that you were in Maine and only went to 2 breweries, and you didn't go to the meadery. That was awesome. Now, granted, it was in Portland.
Is that
why.
Urban
I tried.
Farm?
No.
It was too hot.
Honeymaker.
Honeymaker.
Oh.
Yeah.
Way, but Urban Farm was okay.
I
Honeymaker,
liked what I've had there. I've been there a couple
Honeymaker
times.
is awesome.
Yeah.
I've never been to that one.
I will bring you a protective bubble so we can go to Honeymaker.
I'm interested.
Okay.
Always. No.
Just tear a
I
thing
tried to go
myself.
that one. Jen wouldn't let me, so it's all right.
Okay.
Yeah. It was Jen's fault this time.
Jen, you can
Safety first,
earmuff it.
safety
We're going to Honeymaker.
Well, maybe,
gotta
maybe
restock.
they'll calmer by then. You know, I mean, like everything's changing day in and day out, man. So you never know.
Well, we're going up in about 2 weeks for a couple
yeah,
days
so it
just
might
to
be.
kind of get
Yeah.
at. Well, I honestly believe, I mean, based on the fact that Rhode Island is now on the you have to quarantine list.
Yep.
I honestly think that if I don't get away in the next couple, like 2-3 weeks,
You might not.
I may
be
not
able
have an
to.
opportunity to till next year.
Yeah, that's.
And I'm
that's-
talking about just a couple days out of state.
Yeah, very
Next
true.
year might be
Very
aggressive
true.
based on where everything's going. We're just locking everything down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything. Who knows?
Whatever.
2075.
There's still beer.
I'm gonna
still
have
beer at least for
like
now.
maybe when I'm 80, I'll be able to go travel again. That's probably where we're gonna be at. You know. And if you don't already have a relationship, you're not gonna have one. Sorry, Pat. Not gonna happen anymore. It's over.
Yeah, internet dating during a pandemic is literally the worst
We just
thing
talked about this
ever.
last time.
I know.
Yeah,
I,
I'm
just-
just-
I heard about this.
You have to do your obligatory Pat launch off.
Have you met Pat?
Dial the number below 1-800. Please call Pat.
Gets
My
too many
favorite though was
numbers.
episode 27 when that girl called in.
Oh, that was
That
a
was
good
great.
episode.
That was
the
great.
best
That
episode.
was the best episode.
Mike,
we've
you
ever
liked
had.
episode 27, right?
I liked
Good
them
one.
all.
Yeah.
They're all my favorite.
Yeah,
again.
27 though. That one.
27 was
Get a
the best.
hotline
I
going.
don't
I'm not
remember
gonna
by,
lie.
I don't
Yeah,
remember by
Lord.
names or by numbers rather. Jeez.
But yeah, like
Long time listener, first time caller.
I honestly believe that come September we're probably not gonna be able to travel out of state. Like they actually just moved the big disc golf tournament in Massachusetts back 2 weeks
Oh wow.
Yeah.
because it create the weekend between, like, it jumped over the weekend where they're in Vermont, and that's 2 weeks after the previous big event.
Is that
So
the
everyone
one?
can go quarantine in Vermont for 2 weeks leading up to
Yep.
that event,
Yeah.
and then travel safely to Massachusetts. Hopefully,
Is that the one where you have to pay $100 to volunteer at?
yes, that one. But you also get like
I know.
$150 with this. I understand the logistics of that, but this isn't a disc golf podcast, so we'll get into that at a different time.
I was wondering how long it was going to take for the four of us to spin into disc golf. But
We started
started that way,
we
so-
started there. We spun back for the
If it
second
ends with
time.
us putting, I would not be shocked.
I mean,
All right, let's
disc
go.
golf is very beer oriented, right?
And beer is very disc golf oriented.
Yeah.
So
And you can buy discs here at the brewery if you don't have any.
That is true.
also
We,
beer.
we can hook you up. Starter pack.
So you said barley wines are your favorites.
I wouldn't say favorite, but I'm very pro barley wine.
Yeah.
What's your least favorite style? That's an interesting one. We don't go.
Ooh,
we
that
don't
is a
go.
good- we
They're
never
all
asked
his
that.
Yeah, we never go like on like a negative
Bill, they're
type
all
of.
his
No, but
favorites.
I mean,
that's a very difficult. Like, it's got to be something you've truly hated.
Yeah.
General style.
I'd say
You're like,
hate.
you're like, I'm not into this style.
Kolsch is one for me that I'm not super into.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I just
Wow.
think there's just not. I don't know, Pat. You're into Kolsch's. It just. There's just not enough there for me.
I don't think there's enough good examples out there of Kolsch's.
That's fair.
I've had a lot of really, really bad ones. I've had a lot of really good ones. When it's done well, I love a good Kolsch, but there are a lot of bad ones
I
out
needed
there.
this today.
I will agree that I think Kolsch is one of those things where
Oh, we got
it's a very finicky style, right? Like,
Yes. It's very easy to get an off flavor because it's such a light beer.
right. And it's also one of those beers where you can easily, unintentionally, make it taste like a similar lager, like a more pilsnery,
Right.
or so it almost doesn't stand out enough. And I've had some where like it has like a little bit of that DMS or like corn.
Yeah,
vibe
a lot
and-
of times the yeast is, depending on what yeast you're using for it, the yeast is what's really finicky with it, and you
Right.
can very easily get weird flavors from
So
the
I can totally
fermentation.
see
Yeah.
the mindset though a little bit of just like if you've only had the representation of this much and you just never got excited about it, why are you gonna
Yep.
drink more of it? And you don't see a lot of Kolsch's out in the world.
I
either.
agree.
I'll say the only Kolsch that I can think of that I've been like always pretty much a fan of is Harpoon Summer is a Kolsch.
All right.
I haven't had that in ages, but that used to be like a go-to
It's a
summer,
solid
like,
beer.
very clean, non-flavored
I did not realize
summer
it was a
beer.
Kolsch.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever had that one.
Oh, Harpoon Summer's good
It's
beer.
like that bright yellow now can, I'm assuming, bottle back in the day.
Yeah, no, I.
It was pretty solid. It was always a good go-to non-lemon, non-witty summer beer for me, for sure. I haven't had it in ages, but no offense, Harpoon. But if I had it, if I seen it, I totally have one.
Drink local.
I was just
Yeah,
there.
well,
Well, I
thing.
was
I
gonna
mean,
say
so
that's the problem. Is like
we got all our friends bringing our beer. We're gonna drink that
yeah,
first,
I
obviously.
can't remember. It's very rare I drink an out-of-state beer anymore. It's not because that I think that beer's bad. It's just because there's so much good beer in the state, and I
Mhm.
want to be supporting our industry and our friends.
But when you go out of state, that's when you're drinking that beer.
Oh, exactly.
And I
Yeah,
also
yeah.
don't,
If I
I
travel
also
out
don't
of
go
state,
to
for
package
sure.
stores anymore because that's where you'd buy out-of-state beers. I go
Yeah.
right to the source and get it.
Right. Yeah. I'd much
Same.
rather go
So-
to a brewery directly
It'd
and
be
buy
weird if you went to
from
like
them.
nowhere. He's like, oh, I got a 12-pack of Harpoon.
Well, now I know what I'm doing next week.
It'd be weird. I think the last time I had a Harpoon was when I adopted my dog, because there was the Harpoon in Vermont. It was like on the way. It was like one exit past where she was being fostered.
Yep.
So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go there, and that was the last time I probably had it because I was at the brewery. It was a cool facility. Like it's a lot different than the one in Boston, and it was pretty neat to see like how the operations were completely different. Like one was obviously went more for packaging, and one was originally built as the original brewery, obviously. So it had that little yin and yang kind of thing going on, which was cool. I was a fan.
All right. Well,
Good
what about
story.
you guys? Your least favorite styles? Now throw it on me. Yeah.
I
Putting
knew
it
he was
right back
gonna-
on
I knew
you.
he was going to ask that.
I don't
Yeah.
mind.
Someone else go
All right.
first. I'm thinking.
Kevin
I,
knows.
I think
I know.
know.
I think I know Kevin's answer.
My least favorite style to drink, but still can appreciate, Belgians. And more the Americanized, bastardized version of Belgians. So that super light, super, like, the yeast just overtakes everything, and there's not a lot of malt profile behind it. You might get a little bit of orange peel, but it's really that coriander meets that clove, meets all those esters, just punch you in the face in the most unbalanced way possible. If someone gives it to me, I can drink 4 to 8 ounces and be like, oh, I can appreciate what you're trying to do with it. Just not my style. Even in generic Belgians, like more malty ones to me have more balance. So like that caramel notes, a little bit more banana flavor coming through. I can appreciate those styles way more. Still probably not drinking more than a full beer of it just because
Right.
it's not up my alley.
Yep.
And once again, I can appreciate what the people are doing because there's a lot going on. The yeast does drive a lot of those flavors. But the thinner ones without the malt profile to me is just so unbalanced. It's not my thing.
Yeah, I mean, I got to go with the same thing. I wanted to pick something different from
Same
Kevin
thing.
because I didn't want to feed into the fact that we're the same person even more. But whatever, we
That's why I
are.
went first. That way, it's I'm original.
I was expecting Kevin to say Saison.
Yeah, well,
No, I like saisons more.
yeah. I mean, for me,
sure.
like,
You
I
just won't let
def-
me brew one.
I definitely don't hate the style.
Grisette.
But I love grisettes. I definitely don't hate the
Which is different.
style, but I have to be really, really, really in the mood for it for me to enjoy it. All the same things that Kevin said. That yeast character is just very, very specific, and if I'm not in the mood for it, I have a hard time with it.
So I'm sitting here flipping through like the BJCP like guide in my head, trying to think of my answer. And where I actually stuck is double and triple IPAs.
I could see that.
Which
how about quadruple?
that's just not a thing. That's just stupid. I have always been on the more sessionable side of things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll admit, 5 years ago, I was drinking a lot more double IPAs than I am now. But my palate's changed. I don't enjoy like all the crazy hops. And quite honestly, once you get just a little bit too high in ABV, I start to get sensitive to it, and it gets like I get like the alcohol burn, even when most people don't. So I give me something 7% or less, and I'm happy.
Yep.
You know, I do like barley wines and stuff, but in small doses because again, I'm not drinking to get hammered.
And most beer with you is small doses anyway.
Who's on their second beer of this podcast?
Pat drinks
Fuck all
very.
y'all
Pat
bitches.
drinks very slowly, except for today apparently.
I was only given a 12 ounce. Let's just.
Yeah,
set
he's trying to
that
make it
straight.
last. We don't have the backups like we
That,
did
that was
last
my
episode.
fault, Mike. I'm not a good host apparently.
Bill's a shitty steward.
We were downstairs for the fifth time during this episode.
Could have got more beer.
I was
Came with
busy.
the whole case.
I was busy doing other things.
We need a barcode. We need to make a special table for the tap room where we could place our order online. They deliver it to the studio.
A little dumb waiter.
Hammock life order. We need another bit.
We can put an online order in, but then maybe we have to pay for it.
Hey, don't call Jake dumb.
Crickets.
Yeah.
Kevin,
Speaking of
Kevin,
systems,
Kevin
though,
laughed.
I gotta
All right.
go. I'm laughing at you, not with you.
so with delivery systems, curling when we were out in, I don't know, a couple places have had it. Yeah, exactly. We were curling in Duluth, and on the scoreboard, to the far right, there was one tile that was white on one side, green on the other. If you wanted the bar overlooks all 8 sheets of ice, and if your team or your rink wanted bar service, you flip your little card over, and the bartender would come down, take your order, deliver it to you, and you were ready to go.
We just had this
Kevin,
conversation.
yeah,
I
Kevin,
suggested this weeks ago.
Kevin had this idea a long time ago.
No. I brought it up first, and it was shrugged off. Then 2 weeks
But you
later,
didn't-
it magically came back.
We
No,
found in the last episode you didn't fully understand and appreciate the
Right,
idea.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
no.
but I
Brazilian
still had the
barbecue.
idea.
You need
of
the beer button right
Kevin
there.
had brought it up before that, though.
Brazilian
You brought it
barbecue
up
method.
after differently,
Yeah,
and
like
then it
short.
came back
Yes,
again. Yeah.
Lies.
I swear to God, I was there.
Yeah.
You weren't there when Kevin first brought it up.
How are they
was.
going to see it from the bar though?
Have you ever been to a Brazilian steakhouse?
I no.
Okay.
All right.
Go to a Brazilian steakhouse.
Same idea. It's
Same idea.
It's like a totem.
No,
But it's
I
three
get
colors.
that.
There's three
But how's the
colors.
bar going to see the
They'll have like noise
studio?
activation.
Because
Okay,
they're
all right.
walking
Beer,
they're walking
beer.
around. They're
Okay.
doing table
We can
service
get wireless
Alright.
doorbells.
now. So what we do is we take a can.
There's 27 on the wall.
We color the can in the 2 colors. Green is I
I
need
think
more.
actually, I'm
red
pretty
is
sure
I need-
Alvarium actually is doing that.
And then on the
not
side
when
is
I,
you're
not
done.
when I was there
No.
3 weeks ago.
No?
I remember seeing a picture. Maybe it was a joke, but I remember seeing like in the last week or something. Maybe they stole it from our podcast.
We
Oh,
definitely,
let's just do
we
it. Let's fuck
definitely,
it. Let's
if you're
just
gonna
do
do that, you should use my can steamer downstairs and fill the can with water so they don't blow away.
It's a good idea, especially for outside.
I mean,
Inside's
we're
not a
doing
problem.
it anyway. You have other things to do. I love that Bill has all this extra time. Just so he doesn't want you to be here. Sorry, Jess. I'm filling cans and painting them yellow and green.
I'm actually, I'm actually,
Whenever I say we're doing this, I assume we're making someone else do it.
I'm just impressed that
Bad
Bill's.
news, Pat.
I can't see. I could probably 3D print something.
Oh, see?
Now we're talking my lingo.
Finally.
It's gonna take a while. I might need to buy 3 more printers, but it'll get it done.
Yeah. You will.
My second one
In
is
the
somewhere.
pandemic, we finished it.
My second one is somewhere in a shipping container between China and LA.
Jesus.
It should be here in the next 45 days. It was a Kickstarter.
Nice.
You and your toys.
I like my toys.
So one final, I think like one good other final segue here, since we have the myth, the legend, the mic drop
The
himself.
mic drop himself.
Teach each other a joke. You homebrew too, right? So
Occasionally, yes.
yeah, you dabble. You did you bring anything with to us? You should.
I didn't. I know.
Oh
I-
my God.
I
It
always
was like,
I-
what is this?
It
I always
wouldn't
leave
be-
myself
it-
plenty of time to leave, and then it's
Homebrew?
like I just sat around for too long, and it's like, oh fuck, and now I gotta rush, and then I'll get to like Goshen and remember like, oh, I was gonna bring this,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
this.
That happened last time.
I'm
You're
like,
I'm totally gonna bring
Yep,
it.
I was totally gonna bring it.
All right,
No.
so 2 things then. Next time, you absolutely have to bring something.
I will.
And on the brewing side of things, what is your favorite style to brew? Maybe not necessarily drink. What's your favorite beer to brew?
That's easy.
Yeah, it is easy because
Don't say barley wine. Say
I'm
something
not gonna say.
different.
I've only collabed on a barley wine, and I heard it did pretty well in some competition.
We won stuff.
Yes.
Bill was there.
But no, because the world is over or hates clear hoppy IPAs, like old
West
school
Coasty.
West Coast IPAs. I have to make them for myself.
Yes.
So
And that is a common trend when we travel. It's like I need to find a place with the West Coast IPA before we go home, or we're still going to more places.
yes.
So when you make them,
Sure.
do you make a true West Coast IPA, or do you make more like an East Coast style, like a now West Coast, or like a West Coast? Oh, sweet baby, hey, take it easy here.
Into the microphone.
I don't know what. I don't have any headphones.
You're not.
No. I try to use C hops.
But super bitter, super caramel, or are you trying to like a balance?
I'm a little more balanced.
So more East Coasty.
But I mean, still
West Coast today, but like 10 years ago.
5 IBUs.
I don't know what that number means anymore.
It's bitter.
It's a lie.
It's such an arbitrary number.
It's a fake number now.
At least some bitterness.
We get all our
You're
bitterness from
feeling.
like 8,000 pounds in the freaking
Yeah.
fermenter later. Like,
No, I mean, not shooting for astronomical.
yeah, you're not
just
doing like a
never
hop
taste
stupid like
anything.
200 IBU. Like,
No.
yeah,
No.
like you turned inside out by drinking it kind of.
No,
bitterness.
definitely try to, the malt definitely comes through.
Nice.
Yeah, try to be balanced. But again, still bitterness, not, maybe a little touch of grapefruit, maybe even a little
Alright.
bit. Sort of like an old school.
Yeah, throwing
90
citrine at
minute.
like 45 to 60-minute kind of thing.
I miss those grapefruit notes in a nice balanced IPA.
Yeah.
Some
for sure.
bitterness, some grapefruit.
Mhm.
I love that.
I don't
Yeah.
miss. I do
definitely
not
miss
miss grapefruit sculpin though. That was.
Yeah, but that's
Oh,
not.
I
That's,
get it.
from, that's
I
from
know,
like the grapefruit
That
itself.
was a
not from the hops.
joke. Jeez.
What about habanero sculpin?
Guess what, man?
Habanero sculpin was the
That shit
devil.
was not funny.
It was not good.
It only lasted the market for like one can. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure, and you had it.
I mean, yeah.
We-
we-
how more than a case of that sold
we bought
nationwide?
a
I don't know.
6-pack in Rochester. We cracked open one bottle between 3 of us, and I think I ended up like giving away the other 5 because I just couldn't do
I
it.
think
just
it
so
was that was one of
hot.
those moments when someone's
Yeah.
like, we went too far, man. We were looking at the sun for too long and decided to do something we shouldn't have done.
I was actually thinking about this the other day. It's like we need just a hard reboot on beer, and just go back 3,000 years, and just start over again.
I do not disagree with you there.
I mean, I don't know about 3,000.
we wouldn't
years. I
have
don't think
we
beer
wouldn't
exists.
have we wouldn't have lagers then, Bill.
We will get there. Bill can innovate. Right?
No, we can't.
So for reference, we
You're
did
not wrong.
the
You're not
small
wrong.
system. We did like the Californication, right?
Yep. Yep.
And we definitely did that more like a little East Coasty,
For
West
sure.
Coast vibe, but it was not like
You used up
strong.
all of my Centennial.
Yeah. We definitely used a lot of
We
Centennial.
didn't want to
on
open
that.
11-pound bags.
Yeah, we were definitely trying to bridge the gap a little bit and find a nice middle ground, which I think we did, but we can make it a little different.
So
next
for a
time,
reference
make it
point
even
for me,
better.
no one here is gonna even know what the fuck we're talking about.
True.
But like, so that was like.
Mike will know what we're talking.
that's
oh.
ex-
I w-
So-
yes.
He's on.
When I
Oh,
watch
he's
this. Hey, you. How
Say
you doing?
That's ex bitterness. Hey, how you doing, baby? You looking good. Say that was ex bitter, right? Like
Sure.
it wasn't overtly bitter.
Yep.
So when you're shooting for it, are you trying to like for what you can remember from that style?
No, I
Are you
remember,
trying to
'cause
double
I-
that down, or like a little bit more?
Definitely, because I think I drank one on the way home. Jen was driving. And yeah, I think I instantly texted Pat and I was like, this needs more West Coast.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I wanted some more of that Centennial to come through. And it was just that juicy.
I
I
don't remember the
too juicy
Little
for
too,
me.
little too. All right, all right.
I don't remember the specific text, but if it was at the end of the day of drinking, I guarantee you he texted me.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because I could be like, oh, Mike's watching the Hammock Life. I just got 14 texts in
Yep.
4 minutes.
I have to like live tweet it to you, live text it to you.
Yes,
My reactions.
I know.
Julian is wrong. Kevin
No, there was
is
that one
right.
time Julian was right.
I mean, 90% of the time,
couldn't
I'm
believe
right,
it.
So it's fine.
I'm ready to hit the music button.
Yeah,
I think
Well,
we're
we
way
hit where we
past
wanted
that.
to.
Yeah,
Just
that was-
getting us back on target. You know, appreciate you
Yeah.
coming on, my man. Any
No, my pleasure.
any like curling social media tags you want everybody to follow?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Just wait for Mike
I'm-
to come back on the episode. That's when you'll know more
That's
about
right.
him.
Next
Exactly.
call in.
Exactly.
It might be this guy.
No, if you find me, you find me. If you don't, you're probably better off.
That's fair.
He's not wrong. This is a fun episode.
Until next time, everybody.
Give a sip.
Keep living that hammock life.
Living that hammock life.
Thanks, Mike.